Today's social media segment is brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. This is your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us, however you may be joining us. We are so very happy to be here at the new Cardiovascular Horizon Conference, here with one of the founders of it, Dr. Craig Walker. Dr. Walker, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Keith. It's my pleasure. This is such a great event. Look at the people here. These are the people who changed the world with peripheral vascular disease. Guys who dedicated their whole lives to saving legs and healing ulcers and problems like that. And over here we have people from multiple continents, from all over North America, from South America, from Europe, from China, from Japan. We have lots of representatives from around the world. And over here we have Dr. Simpson. He created the first specialty wire, the first over-the-wire balloon, the first atherectomy tool, the first vascular closure tool. So many first re-entry tool. We have other people who here have made amniotic membrane coverage stents, all sorts of things that have really changed the world and resulted in the outcomes that we can have today, where limb salvage, where it used to be an uncommon thing, is now commonplace and what should be expected. I'm really so excited of how this conference has grown. We started this conference very small. We're now in our 26th year, attracted people from around the world. The world leaders are in this room tonight.
Well, and you bring it all together. Dr. Walker, you're one of those people that just always love to learn. You've always been challenging yourself. With the starting of CIS, with the starting of NCVH, you have really brought all of this together. It's got to make you feel good that these people are changing lives.
It does, but more, what makes me feel good is we're achieving the mission I wrote many years ago. And the mission I wrote was not about Craig Walker. It was about improving healthcare in our part of the world. And so you might say, what does Latin America and North America and Europe and Japan, why all of that? Because we're all one world. And because there are different ideas that come from different spots. We want to know all those ideas. We want to search out the best, the brightest, see the best things, and bring those technologies back. And that's what's happened with CIS. CIS became the biggest private cardiology practice in America. And we started in Houma. And CIS over the years has gotten a lot of awards. But that's not a Craig Walker phenomenon. That's a phenomenon of a team we have built up. We have had in a lot of practices, one guy does something and everyone else is a subject. We're a team.
Right.
And the whole idea from day one was to really work with a commonality of goal. And that commonality was to improve care. I am so incredibly proud of the team we've developed. They're very strong. I think we need more people because we've grown so fast. Sometimes it's hard to keep up. But I really like the fact that statistics are now showing the outcomes that we have. And the outcomes we have are pretty laudable. We have taken what used to be one of the highest amputation rates anywhere in America and made it number one lowest. That's big. We took one of the highest cardiovascular mortality rates and dropped it down to one of the lowest in America. And that's Medicare data, not mine. I think this is exciting stuff. And it's really, that's what gives me vindication. That's why I read at night. That was been my goal since I was a young doctor returning to Houma when I was 28 years old. And I think we're making big strides. I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited about what happens in a meeting like this. Look, they're wall-to-wall people, but these aren't wall-to-wall just regular people. These are the people that change the world.
You're changing lots and lots of things, Dr. Walker. Not only that, but you're able to do it across the whole circulatory system. It's not just congestive heart failure. It's not just what's happened peripherally. It's everything.
It is. The whole body works in concert. The heart's important. So is the brain. So are the legs. All of these are organs that we should preserve and should improve things. I'm so excited about the pharmacological new ideas that we have, the new diabetic drugs that have all sorts of implications and are increasing life expectancy, decreasing heart attack risk, decreasing risk of kidney failure. I'm excited about other drugs treating amyloid. I'm excited about new techniques and procedures that result in less damage to the heart, better brain function and better brain flow, less strokes. All of these things are things that we have been working on. We have been at the forefront of research in these areas. And it's because of meetings like this, because we are there with the world thought leaders. We have become some of those world thought leaders that people respect. And I think this has been exciting. And events like this recharge, re-energize me to want to do more and to want to achieve things. And
well, you're certainly doing that, Dr. Walker. And the energy in the room, we talked about earlier, you can't deny how palpable the energy is for people to learn. And I love the fact we have all these people that have been these great guys inventing, great men and women inventing things, and we're putting them into place, having live streams to be able to see those things in real time.
You know, we're moving even in other areas, Keith. You know, we have an epidemic in America, for instance, different from this, of obesity. We actually have a cardiologist who's board certified in cardiology, psychiatry, and weight loss management, who's putting together a program that's medically healthy, not fad-based, but that can help people who are obese, which is a real disease, solve that problem. Think of what this can do. You know, I've been lucky. I've associated with great people. You guys at HTV have been very helpful in helping us do what we've done. I'm just excited to be part of what you guys do.
Dr. Walker, we're glad to do it with you. We're glad to partner with you as you partner with so many to move this forward. We thank you. Thank you for your time as well.
Thank you, Keith.
All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment, but don't go anywhere. A whole lot more right here from the Roosevelt with the NCVH.
This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your partner is good health.
And here we are live at the beautiful Roosevelt for the New Horizon Cardiovascular Health Conference. So very excited to have with us again, Dr. Pradeep Nair. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Keith. Always a pleasure.
I appreciate it. You know, we in Houma we're so very lucky that we've got the original CIS there. Tell us what it's like for the longevity that you've had your career there with CIS and all the things that we've learned.
Yeah, it's changed my life. I'm going on year 11 now. It's hard to believe. I have a kid going into high school. He was a baby when I got here.
Right.
But it's the practice itself has really revolutionized the field. I mean, we've brought in new technologies. We've helped grow the field, not just nationally but internationally. It all starts with Dr. Walker. He's given us that platform to allow the practice to grow, allow us to really relay the mission that we want for our patient populations in the Bayou region. We want them to, we want awareness to be spread throughout the communities. And so we are starting to see now, over the course of my tenure at CIS, that there's a larger awareness of both vein disease, peripheral artery disease, and we're getting to patients earlier. And, we still have a long way to go, but it's been a true privilege to be able to be a doctor for our patients in the Bayou region.
And now with new cardiovascular horizons, we're seeing some amazing things happen in conference where we get the chance to watch you do some procedures. Let's talk a little bit about what live streaming is for these conferences and letting other doctors see firsthand some of the remarkable work that's being done.
So live cases are an important part of education for the larger community. I mean, we are able to teach others how we treat complex disease, but we're really, all boils down to is that we're treating patients. We treat patients first. We have to have a discussion with our patients. We want to understand their problems, their issues, but these cases just don't happen willy-nilly. We have a complete game plan in place. We know how we're going to start the case. We know how we're going to finish the case. Now, from point A to point B, there may be some zigzags and turns that we have to be able to accommodate, but that's where the expertise and the experience comes into play. But when we do a live case, and I've been doing them now for about 5 years, I really find it to be a valuable educational tool for others so that they can help a patient in their community, wherever they are, with a similar disease process. So that's how we look at it. And we really have been taking that to heart. CIS and NCVH has really been at the forefront of education.
And with that comes along the opportunity to really be able to treat some of these simple cardiovascular challenges all the way to the very complex. I was telling one of the other doctors, I work in home health and hospice, and you guys are doing some remarkable things at really extending and saving people's lives and giving them such quality. It's got to be exciting to be a part of that.
Yeah, it's I love the job. But really, when I look at the whole grand scheme of what I do, I can try to get flow to the toe. And my patients know this really well. We get flow to your toe, but it's not just getting flow to your toe. It's our primary care doctors. It's the endocrinologist. We need to get the diabetes under control, the blood pressure under control, the cholesterol under control. And we need the patients to work with us. We need them to exercise. We need them to watch what they're eating and making sure that, taking their medicines. So it's, what we do essentially, it's a team sport. And without the team, none of it is possible.
Well, look, we talk about that in the 62 physicians with CIS, so many more than that with NCVH and all the people that are being trained. But like you mentioned, it's the collaboration of really making a difference and looking at that patient holistically and taking care and treating all of their needs that makes it special to do what y'all do.
No, it absolutely does. I find in Houma, in Thibodeau and the Bayou region in general, it's a family atmosphere, right? So when we're treating, the mom or the dad or the grandma or the grandpa, we're really trying to bring the whole family into this because, I think when a patient's dealing with peripheral artery disease or wounds on their legs, critical limb ischemia, it's a long process. Yeah. It's not easy. And we really need to focus, and I harp on this point a lot, we really need to focus on that family. That family atmosphere with the patient-doctor relationship, I think, is very important. There has to be open lines of communication.
Yeah, we can't have one child bringing them canned soups, if you will, with so much sodium that it's counteracting all the things that the doctors are trying to do. So bringing in those families and really working with them has got to be real valuable.
Yeah. When we get the whole team, the whole family involved, we do the greater good. It's getting that patient to that appointment. Grandma or grandpa may not be driving. They need their son or daughter to drive them to the doctor's appointment. That's a big role. That's a big task. That's a big ask sometimes. But it can also help save the life of that grandma or grandpa or even mom or dad. So we just need everybody on board, getting them to their podiatry appointments, so that they can get wound care. It's just so vitally important because what we do in the lab is only a snapshot of what we do. We are basically opening up the spigots, the pipes, to get the flow going, but there's a whole nother process involved.
We got to make sure we've got all the resources for them.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you look at all of that.
Yeah.
Dr. Deere, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for being such a part of CIS and for NCVH. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Keith.
Yes, sir.
Great
all right.
pleasure.
All right. All right, guys, we thank you for joining us as well. Of course, Dr. Pradeep Nair with CIS and here at this wonderful conference. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back after this break.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your partner is good health. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.
And here we are at the beautiful Roosevelt in downtown New Orleans at the new Cardiovascular Horizons Conference. So very excited that CIS so very involved in that. Can't really do that without talking with Ryan. Ryan Abraham, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Keith.
I appreciate it. Let's talk a little bit about how you had just started right before one of these conferences, right?
Correct. So that's actually almost like 13 years ago. I just started and got exposed to New Cardiovascular Horizons, and really kind of gave me sort of the foundation of what Cardiovascular Institute of the South really was all about.
Cardiovascular Institute of the South and New Cardiovascular Horizons are kind of synonymous in bringing great technology and really providing such great health for people and great options.
We have people from all over the world that come here, and really what it is, it's kind of all falls in line with Dr. Walker's mission that he wrote 43 years ago. Some might have thought he was crazy back then for writing it, but really it was driven by making sure that the patients that we treat receive the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Now, by doing so, and by really creating that mission statement that he stated, set the segue of who we are as an organization. Because you can never really achieve it. You constantly have to be looking for advancements in technological superiority, education, doing research, looking at our communication, and of course, identifying ways to make sure that the compassion that we are drive to provide in helping the communities we serve is met. Is it an ever-changing task? Absolutely. There's a lot going on in healthcare. The economy, just like it's affecting everybody else, is affecting healthcare itself as well. But as we get groups together like this, all in one arena, we're able to share innovative ideas and explore opportunities that help us drive success in healthcare and continue to provide advancements in treating cardiovascular disease, which remains still the #1 cause of death throughout the world.
Yeah, and again, you talk about Dr. Walker's vision. Again, such a visionary. Very few people understood what he wanted to do or where he was going, but this collaboration with New Cardiovascular Horizons and CIS certainly moves the needle forward for taking care of people for a long time.
Absolutely. So Dr. Walker is one of those 1 in 10,000 visionaries that helps drive success in healthcare. I know that he's got 2 slides that he shows that kind of gives us really an idea of how good we have it in South Louisiana. Back in the early 2000s, Terrebonne Parish, being one example, was one of the worst in the country for cardiac and peripheral vascular disease. And today, we're one of the top best in the country for the treatment of those, both cardiovascular and peripheral vascular. We're very lucky to have Dr. Walker and all of his colleagues. I'm blessed to be able to work with 62 amazing physicians, as well as 45 to 55 other nurse practitioner APPs, and again, a staff of about 1,000 individuals who dedicate their time and their livelihoods to make sure that others are taken care of.
And we're here with Dr. Peter Feo. So very excited to be here. I know that you're here enjoying this conference. It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
But tell us a little bit more about this structural heart program.
Yeah, so this is the first year that NCVH has put together a structural heart track. And so tomorrow on Wednesday, we're going to have a bunch of lectures specifically designed to the structural heart arena. So that's really, I think the best way to approach that is non-coronary cardiac intervention. So those people that deal with valves mostly, those people that deal with heart failure, those people that deal with things that are non-coronary based. And so that gives you a sort of sense of what we're going to be doing. It's very exciting about that.
And listen, one of the things that I know is so very exciting this year here at the conference, y'all are talking about all of the circulatory system, right?
Right. Yeah, and that's huge for us. I mean, I think it branches out. I mean, obviously, NCVH for many, many years has been very peripheral oriented, and rightfully so. But I think now we're starting to branch out into other avenues, structural heart being one of them. And so we're really excited to be able to present a bunch of different talks tomorrow, specifically designed for structural heart.
So very cool. And y'all get to do this all week. For me and for my family, we have gotten the value of what these new procedures can do. You know, the TAVR kind of revitalized, if you will, these heart procedures. But you guys keep bringing something new to the table all the time. Tell us how exciting it is to be on this cutting edge ideas and help for really helping people with all the different heart conditions.
I've been incredibly lucky to be sort of in the right place at the right time. And being able to be in the early research for TAVR, and doing some of the early research for mitral clip, and being able to do a lot of these procedures that we've now, in fact, I think I saw one of my patients I did in 2006.
Wow.
It's the very first patient we did for a mitral clip, which is huge to now look at this person almost 20 years later and see how well they're doing. And the same with TAVR. You see some of these people that we did TAVR 10 years ago that are still doing very, very well. And those were people that were really deemed high risk for surgical event because of anatomy, not because of medical morbidity or other issues. So that's really huge to see these people now 10 years later doing very, very well. And so we're excited. The other part is all the new technology that's coming out, both in interventional for valvular disease, but also for heart failure. Enormous amount of new ideas in heart failure.
And so for those of us at Home Health and Hospice, I got to tell you, Dr. Phil, it's so very exciting to be able to see that we are actually helping people live longer, much healthier lives with all of this new technology. It's got to feel good to be part of CIS, be part of New Cardiovascular Horizons, and being able to do that.
Absolutely. And I think the part is not necessarily live longer, but live better. And I think that's really the take home is not only can we make these patients live longer, but we're making them live better. And so we've seen an improvement in overall lifestyle, able to function much better and live longer. And so I think that's, living longer is not necessarily a good thing if you're not living better. And so I think that's really the take home message. We really want these patients to live better, more so.
Well, we can't thank you enough for joining us today. We appreciate it, Dr.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You got it. All right, guys, that'll do it for us from here at the New Horizons Cardiovascular Summit. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.